up, everybody? I feel like I ain't made a video in forever. I think it has been forever. I've posted a couple shorts. One of them's kind of doing well, but I really don't mess with the shorts that much. I'm not monetized, so I actually don't have the ability up until the last maybe month to even be able to post shorts on YouTube. And I do not have the ability to post community photos. So that's why I don't ever post any of that stuff, because I can't, because I'm not monetized. You have to have 1,000 subscribers last time I checked to get monetized, and I've got 449. So we're a ways away. So anyway, moving on to the topic of this video, which is I've done the 5 things that I dislike or hate or don't like, whatever, about the Kawasaki W800. This is the counterpart to that. These are the 5 things, roughly 5 things. I don't even know if I've got 5 that I absolutely love. We'll go ahead first, right off the bat, and get rid of the obvious, which is the aesthetics, the looks. If you're buying a retro bike, regardless what brand, you're buying it because you like the way it looks. So obviously I like the way it looks. The Kawasaki is unique in the sense that it has the bevel gear drive. It retains, granted doesn't affect aesthetically, but you know, the bevel gear drive engine is kind of old school. It retains the old school firing order, which is great for the sound. But yeah, it's a gorgeous machine. I don't have anything else to say about it, really. You're buying a retro bike, obviously. You're going to get the one that you like. Since it's air cooled, I guess from a aesthetics point of view, unlike the Triumph, you don't have like an I was about to say intercooler. You don't have a radiator anywhere, so you know, aesthetically, that would be the difference between, I would say, it and a modern Triumph Bonneville. Although Triumph does a really good job of hiding it. So, moving on to item number 2 that I love about the Kawasaki W800, and that is the ease of maintenance. Now, obviously, I've not owned this long enough or for enough miles to get to something like, say, a valve change. I'm at 844 miles, get to a valve service. So I can't attest to that, although I have watched videos. It does seem pretty easy to do yourself. But just basic service, air filter, checking that's really easy. Pulling the seat off is really easy. It's got the key for that, so that's great for getting under the seat. And then the oil change. The oil filter is a screw-on type oil filter, so I can cross-reference that with Wix, which is exactly what I did. And I can go pick that up at my local auto parts store instead of having to make a special trip to the motorcycle store. You've got a center stand, so filling the bike back up with oil is super simple and easy to do. You've got a center stand and you've got a sight glass, so you can just sit there Indian style on the floor, fill it up, watch it as you're doing it, start the bike, check it again. Couldn't be simpler. Couldn't be simpler. I mean, I've never had a bike that was so hard to do the maintenance on that I really despised it in the first place, but it really couldn't be simpler. And the third thing I like about my Kawasaki W800 is the riding position. This would go the same for an infield Interceptor, the W800, the Triumph Bonneville and Street Twin and Scrambler. Like, just this neutral riding position is a very comfortable position. If you were to close your eyes, or tell someone else who's not even a motorcyclist to close their eyes and envision riding a motorcycle down a street, curvy road, the position they would tuck themselves into is this position. It's just the natural, quintessential, standard motorcycle position. It's not great for say highway or interstate touring because you're just getting blasted by the wind, you can put a windshield on and help with that. But the position itself is very comfortable. Now, saying all that, I do have handlebar risers on my bike, and that's because I'm very short at 5'7". That doesn't change the fact that this neutral position is very comfortable around town position. It's very comfortable back road riding position. I mean, it's just like riding a dirt bike, except it's a lot heavier and the handlebars are a touch more low and maybe slightly more forward, but a really neutral, comfortable riding position. And the fourth thing I like about the Kawasaki W800 is its range, tank capacity, however you want to describe it. I hate having to stop all the time for gas. Like, I guess I got spoiled because I had a victory cross country and go like 200 and something miles before I even, like deep into 200, like 260 or something, before I ever even contemplated looking for a gas station, much less actually running out. Same thing with the Kawasaki KLR 650 I used to have. Those have like a 6.6 gallon tank on them and get 50 miles to the gallon, so you can stretch it a long ways before you ever even think about stopping for gas. And the Kawasaki's not quite as good as either one of those, but it's way better than things like my Yamaha Bolt, the Honda Rebel 500, those other bikes that I've recently had. The Bolt, the fuel light for that would come on at like 100, 105 miles sometimes, and you only had, when the fuel light came on, a half gallon left. So, I mean, you better be getting gas. The fuel light consistently on my W comes on at around 150 miles. It has a 3.8 gallon tank, and it says in the owner's manual that the light is supposed to come on at 3 gallons. So you have 0.8, so that would be 50 miles to the gallon. 80% of 50 is the exact same as 50% of 80, so you've got 40 more miles, which puts you at 190. So you could comfortably go well past, I would say, 150. And push up there close to 200, and that's being generous because the bike does get a little better in my experience than 50 miles per gallon. Not crazy, like maybe 55 or 57, and I do it. This and number 5 will go hand in hand, but I do have a larger countershaft sprocket on here, and just to make the speedometer correct, so your actual mileage may vary from your odometer mileage if you haven't changed that. So I'm at my destination for now, so we will get back to number 5 momentarily. And we're back. And the last thing, the 5th thing I would say that I like about the 2020 Kawasaki W800 is the way it rides. I mentioned earlier it retains the old school 360 firing order, and it's still very smooth even though it's a 360 firing order. Granted, like I mentioned on the 4th item, I do have a larger countershaft sprocket which helps lower RPMs. Again, I didn't really do that because the bike's buzzy. I did it because I wanted the speedometer to match correctly. So that's it. That's the 5 things. And if I could add a 6th, it would be that, man, does this thing get the looks. Like every time I ride it to town, I stop at a red light. I usually ride it to church on Sundays when the weather's nice. And yeah, you get stuck at a red light, somebody always rolls their window down, wants to know what it is, tries to tell you did a good job restoring it. It's just a beautiful machine. So yeah, there we go. There's the 5 things, 6 things technically, I guess, that I love about my Kawasaki W800. And I hope y'all enjoyed. Catch y'all next time.